Alright, hello YouTube. So welcome to Sam TCG. We're doing a video today about a PSA submission. So me and four of my friends, we got together last night and we talked about our cards and basically brought a bunch of cards that we wanted to grade, and this is what we ended up with. So 83 cards in total and 2 extra that I'm planning to send to Beckett. This is all going to PSA. We've got our Pokemon part 1 here. So you can see there's a bunch and a lot of different types of Pokemon. We got vintage, we got newer cards, we got other tops and Danon stadium tips and random other stuff like that in there for Pokemon. And then part 2 we're gonna do One Piece. Got a little bit more One Piece here, and we're gonna go through them one by one and talk about why we're submitting them. So here we go. So part 1, we're gonna go with a first edition Dark Dragonite from Team Rocket. This is a beautiful card. Unfortunately, it's really damaged. We got a dent and a fold here on the side here. So the person that's sending this, Nick, is actually hoping for a PSA 1, which is pretty valuable. Still under $100, but interesting nonetheless. And then we got a beautiful Dark Charizard here. Dark Charizard with a swirl in the corner here. Yeah, right there. And it's the holo version. It's also pretty damaged. I cannot see obvious stuff, but on the corners and on the edges you see a lot of whitening here. There were scratches on the holo that you don't really see through the card saver here, but there is a crease on the bottom there. So I was also hoping for a PSA 1 on that, and this is pretty much the same thing. So high-end, older Wizards of the Coast cards, first edition Jungle Jolteon. It's got scratches all around, multiple directions all around here, and the edges are not perfect, but you know, probably a 1. Probably a 1. And in these cards, you're kind of hoping for a 1. If you get a 2, you're disappointed because 1s are worth more. And in Canada, probably United States also, but in Canada we got a bunch of groups on Facebook that do collect PSA 1s. So we got some damage here. There is actually like indentations in the bottom here. So unfortunately this is gonna be, automatically under a 6, but then probably a lot lower. Yeah. So another last Wizards of the Coast. We got a crease here down the front and probably the back too. Yeah. Hiding it, but I can see it. Just a nice card to have in a PSA 1. Now we're going into some Japanese stuff. Jolteon here. Don't remember the set. Most of a Japanese collector myself. So this is from Devin's collection here. Charizard with a swirl, if I remember correctly. It's got a start of a swirl here. Yeah. Beautiful card. From Power Keepers. That's an older set. We got a big fold here, so it might be a 1 or a 2. Big crease here. So it's still a beautiful card, but damaged. So if it's a 1, it's fine. Also this, now we're getting in some other stuff that different cases, not really 1s. This Charizard here with the trainer. Don't see any damage to it. Centering looks perfect to me. I did go and use my centering tool for most of these to make sure it was within the 60/40. Shining Mew from Shining Legends. It's a beautiful card. It's got tiny whitenings on the top here and there and there. I don't know if you guys see. It's not obvious, just to show that probably not the 10, but maybe a little bit off center here, right to left, but it wasn't worse than the 60-40 for PSA 10. So here Entei from the movie promo. It's got a big crease here. So he was hoping for a PSA 1 on this too. Then Josh, another of my friends, came over, wanted to send this Pikachu with a nice swirl here. It is also damaged, and he would be happy with a PSA in the low runs, maybe 1, 2, 3. So you see all around a bunch of whitening on the edge. Beautiful card anyways. We got this Dragonite V from the Pokemon Go Japanese. So it looks perfect to me. Didn't find any creases or markings or anything. So this Umbreon from the Celebration set is increasing in price. Surprisingly over $200 in a PSA 10. So a friend thought he should grade his. It looks really well centered. We didn't find any scratches on the hollow. Looks nice, even though it's not the original Gold Star, but it is a Gold Star nonetheless. Karen's Conviction from, I forgot the name of the set. Oh, Chilling Reign. Recognize the symbol. It's one of those cards. Got 5 like this actually. This is a Lux card here. So it's got a bunch of gym trainers from the Japanese promo sets. So he looked at them and thought they were good for a PSA 10 maybe. It's got no hollow, so a lot easier to get a PSA 10 on these promos. As if they come in some kind of plastic, sealed in there, and it just wobbles around in the box or wherever they were. They got hollow, they got scratches so easily. Genesect V, it's the alternate art from, I think, Fusion Strike. So this one looks like a PSA candidate. Master Ball, Reverse Hollow Tentacool from 151. Looks also in perfect condition. Dialga Cross, I think it's cross thread, or you can really see it well there. So beautiful hollow from Pokemon League promo. Those are not scratches, those are really just the hollow, and I couldn't see any scratches. But those reverse hollows with a lot of hollow, you just know there's scratches somewhere. Still hoping for a 10. Goes for close to $100 in a 10. These are a few of mine, Japanese promo. Like I was saying, I got maybe 10 of these just for the collection, just to keep long term and maybe sell raw in the future. And I got only one that didn't have a massive scratch in the front here. Don't think I even saw one. And the centering is perfect in the front and in the back from what I see. Still just a $50 US card. This is maybe a little bit more than that. Very cute Pikachu with the flowers. And this one here, another Pikachu. I don't know the names. And then here I got 4 Danone. Danone written like this. Was a yogurt company, and I think it still is in Canada. And you would get cards in yogurt products that you would buy. I did send a few a while ago, maybe a year ago, and they got 9s and 10s. Figured I'd send more. So here we go. So that's for part 1. So stay put for part 2, where we'll do One Piece. For part 2, we have this big pile here, almost twice the size of the PSA pile, which just gonna start with the top ones. So this is a card that my buddy Josh is sending. Looks perfect. A little bit off center, we thought, but you know, still good for the PSA 10 according to my centering tool. So an alt art leader limb, and I've got one later too. That's why I put the Scotch tape, just to masking tape. We got it in OPO3 SEC Soj King. So Soj King was the manga in that set, which is what we got here. So Luc wanted to send the Soj King SEC, even though it's worth probably $30 US in a PSA 10, and to have it and to just for the collection part of it and keep it beside this one. So Soj King is worth around $300 to $400 US in a PSA 10. It's a beautiful card. The mangas are just amazing. And that's an original one from OPO3, so it's not the reprint from PRB. So if you're not into One Piece, you know, I think you're still gonna like this video, because you're gonna see that Bandai is doing amazing arts on this Rosinante character. The background is perfect. So those are SP special rare cards. You get one per case most of the time. The case is 12 boxes. Just like this SP. So this SP, I pulled this one a while back in OPO9. And most of this pile is actually OPO9. So if you like that set, you're going to like this submission. So Nami, I actually have 3 of these. I have 2 more just up here that I pulled 2 of these myself, and one other I just bought from someone around in Facebook Marketplace that wanted to sell it, and it already increased in price since then. Crazy. So these 2 I'm sending to Beckett because they look perfect, and I'm hoping for a black label on at least one of those 2, but you know, maybe not. Just hoping for the best. And this one was a little bit too off center on the back. So I think it's still good for a PSA 10, but not a Beckett 10. Or a Beckett black label, I should say. Wanted poster from Luffy, so one of my biggest hits in the set. It's pretty disappointed to see that there was some whitening right here. So rarely One Piece you get damage on your cards even before you pull them out. So I don't know why it had to be this card here, but you know, I would have sent it to Beckett if it was perfect. So I'm sending it to PSA. I'll probably get a 9, maybe even an 8. Sadly, thought about selling it raw, but I like the card. I want to like it. I want to keep it in the collection, so I'll keep it in the collection. Another wanted here. 2 actually of Buggy. Got lucky to pull these 2. The less expensive ones. Don't think I'll keep them. I'm not a big fan of Buggy. I guess I'm not at the point in the anime where he becomes really important and big guy in there. I just know him from the first season. Zoro Juro is the treasure rare from this set. I was fortunate enough to get 3. So I got 3 that are in perfect condition. From what I see, that's not whitening or anything. It's just the sleeve. So they look perfect. So I'm hoping for 10s on that. Probably keep one in the collection. Nico Robin is a popular character. And I think this is going to get a 10, so I'm excited to see what that... Another limb, but this one's mine. This is the one that I pulled. So alt art leaders. A bunch more alt leaders here. We got Marshall Lee Teach, Blackbeard. When I saw this at first, I thought it was a damage. I thought it was a chip of the paint, but then I pulled more and I noticed that they're all like that. So it's not a chip, it's just a hole in his hat. Got 3 Buggy alt art leaders that I'm going to send to get graded 2. Hoping for 10s. Not really one that I see people using when they play the game much, but this one is. So Shanks, popular character, popular leader, people still use him to this day, if I'm not mistaken. Got 4 of him. I was lucky enough to get 1 Luffy. Hoping for a 10 there too. Basically One Piece here, looking for 10s for everything, because I sent maybe 20 cards my last submission that were all One Piece, and they were all 10s except one, and it was an SEC Luffy, which we're looking at now. It was from a previous set, but I'm sending a bunch. To be honest, I don't think it's a really smart move to do this. I feel like Luffy is a popular character. I feel like people will want to buy this in a PSA 10, so that's what I'm doing. This is the alt version of the other Luffys that we had earlier. So this is worth at least $100 US dollars in PSA 10. But there's no sold values yet, so I'm just guessing here. Raw these sell for $80, if I'm not mistaken. Same thing for these, pretty much the same value than as the Luffy's. Goldie Rogers Alt Art SEC. They look in good condition too, so hoping for a 10 there. We got Nico Robbins. Nico, that's not on the card. So Nico Robbins, in whatever form she is, that I don't know because I'm not there in the anime yet, but I really gotta get there just to understand these cards more. I got some buggies that are not worth much, but they're alt arts, and I don't send all my alt arts. I just send the ones I like. This is a good example, like the multicolor aspect. Circus is just above. Said I'm not the biggest fan of Buggy, but that art is awesome. Alt art Nami. Nami, very popular character, so keep a lot of Namis in the collection. Shanks, here again, alt arts and popular character, cool art. Always like the red and black. Red and black, like the Yu-Gi-Oh cards from my childhood. Another Nami, but this is from a different set. So this is from PRB actually. So in PRB I got this alt art Nami. I got a gold Dawn of Captain Kidd that I want to get graded. Also got a God Pack. I'm pretty excited about that God Pack, but since it was a God Pack and since it's all mangas and it's probably worth $6,000 or more. Maybe that's Canadian price, so maybe $4,000 to $5,000 US dollars in total for that pack, the God Pack. I send it to Beckett. Be ridiculous to get a black label on even one of them. Would be awesome. So I'm definitely gonna do a Beckett return when I get that God Pack back. But I didn't do a video before. So these are the ones that I'm sending to Beckett, mostly just for the reason that I think they've got a shot for a black label. If they get a black label, they're worth a lot more than PSA 10s. It's I just like the case too. So that's it. So now you know what I'm sending to PSA for the next submission. I'm sending those in the next days. And then in the next 3-4 months, I should get them back, and I'll do a PSA return video. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you'll refer to this when I get the other video. So enjoy, and see you next time. Nami, Sanji, Usopp, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brook, 海峡のジンベエ、ゴム人間の船長、モンキー・D. ルフィ。